Welcome everybody to the Wrestling Overtime channel. Today we will do a tier list for some of the best AEW matches of the year. I have left out, the list has left out a couple that I like a lot, such as the TV match between Will Ospreay and Darby Allin from the C2. I thought that was one of my top 5 best TV matches this year for me. But let's get started with this tier list. First up, it is one of my favorites from the year. Danielson versus Swerve Strickland. Great match. Love this match. This is S tier. Um, it's up there for one of my favorite. If it is my favorite, like pay-per-view match of AEW. I love that match. This one, the story between Tony Storm and Mariah May. Um, I thought it was better than some people did, but I don't have it on the same level. It's an A for me. I love this match, but it's not on the level of that one, but I love that match. So I put it in the A tier. This one I didn't like a lot. The Iron Man match between MJF and Will Ospreay. I thought it was a good match. I just think it should have had not the 60 minutes. I think if you would have cut that down at least 30, it would have been better. I have it. This is a hot take. I have it at C. I'm not the biggest fan of the match, but I do think it's still a good match. It's just I would have cut like maybe 20 minutes off. Then Will Ospreay versus MJF All In. This is a B. It's better than the 60-minute Iron Man match, but it's not better for me than the Tony Storm, Mariah May, or Swerve Strickland and Bryan Danielson at All In. Then another one of my favorites earlier in the year is Forbidden Door, Swerve Strickland, Will Ospreay. This one's hard for me. I'm gonna give it the top of the A tier, I think. Top of the A tier. 'Cause it still doesn't touch the S tier to me for that match. Takeshita Will Ospreay is almost at times underrated. Um, mm, I have it S tier. I love that match a lot. I love that match a lot. Between Will Ospreay and Konosuke Takeshita. Um, Next match, Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson at Dynasty. This is my second right now favorite of the S tier to me. I love that match at Dynasty between Bryan Danielson and Will Ospreay. This is a great final match for Sting. I love the event. I love the final match. It is just behind those two matches for me in the S tier. Then we've got this one I don't like as much as everybody else does. Bryan Danielson, John Moxley. Even though I don't like it as much as everybody else does, I think it's at the top of the B tier. It it's still a very good match. It's just not it didn't connect for me like it did for some other people. Next up, Darby Allin versus Konosuke Takeshita on AEW Dynamite TV. This is one of the better TV matches of the year. Mm, it's not S tier, but it is in the second spot of A tier. Love that match. I'm a big fan of both these guys, Hangman Page and Jay White. I like it. It's a very good match. It's just not the upper echelon of matches this year. It's B tier. Then Will Ospreay versus Ricochet versus Konosuke Takeshita at Wrestle Dream. I loved this match, but I didn't love it as much as everybody did. It's still, for me, it's second on the A tier. still love that match, but if I'm not mistaken, I can't tell fully what this one is. Um, think it's the steel cage match, the lights out steel cage match between Hangman versus Swerve. I'm split on this one. It's a great match, but I don't like it as much as everybody else does, seemingly. It is still, for me, a fourth on the, well, I still like that one more, but it's the fifth right now on my A list. It's still at A. Hmm, no, it's the top of the B list. I love the match. It's just I'm not even like squeamish at all because I've seen that spot before, the Swerin spot with like Moxley and CZW. It's just um I liked their I think it's the Texas Death Match better. That was gruesome as hell, and I loved that one more. But yeah, it's still the top of the B tier for me. Then it's Will Osprey versus Pac, I think, right? It has to be, right? If I'm remembering that correctly, that is Will Osprey versus Pac at All Out. Yeah, it is. This is a great match. Where'd I put it? No, great match. Hmm. Like a bunch of these matches have outer body experiences. Not for me, but like it does bring out like the energy in me. These matches. But Will Osprey versus Pac, it's S tier. It is right there. It is the fourth on the S tier list. Then this one is up there for me is the one of the best, if not the best, women's match at AEW this year. In overall, for me, for what I've seen this year, it's in my top 10. Um, it's S tier. Hmm, it's hard rating it. It's hard rating it against these, but it was a great match. Hardcore. It was vicious, and I liked it a lot. It's just how high am I gonna put it? I think it's better than the Will Osprey match there. I don't think it's better than the finale of Sting's career. I don't see. This is hard. It is there. It is so far with the current ranking system of this tier list. I have on the S tier, number one ranked in the S tier, Swerve Strickland versus Brian Danielson at All In. Loved the passion, the story within the match, even the story. I love that match. That is my for sure number one match for me this year for AEW. Number two is Will Ospreay versus Brian Danielson at Dynasty. Loved that match too. Um, just two great workers wrestling each other. Doesn't get any better. But then number three on the S tier is the Sting finale. Um, Sting finale. Sting's final match. It's great for many reasons. The video package before the his son's coming out, the whole presentation of it, the it just honored him in different ways, and a sold out crowd. No, and like one of my favorite final matches for a legend. To be honest with you, it's my third on the S tier. Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander at All Out is my fourth on the S tier. Um, how vicious the match was, like A plus plus plus. Love that match. Love that match. Then on that same show, Will Ospreay versus Pac. Um, great match. The crowd was on their feet the whole match, which is not hard when you have Pac versus Will Ospreay, but love the match. Then the bottom of the S tier, Will Ospreay versus Konosuke Takeshita at Revolution. Again, two great wrestlers wrestling each other. Didn't get better. Then for me, the top of the A tier, Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay at Forbidden Door. Great match. I didn't have it in the S tier for me, but it's a great match. In another very good match to great match, depends who you say. I think it's a very good match. It's Will Ospreay versus Ricochet versus Konosuke Takeshita at Wrestle Dream. It's a very good triple threat match. Love the match. Hard for me. I don't know. I think it's still better than the Konosuke Takeshita Darby Allin from AEW Dynamite, but I don't know yet. Um, put that in. Mariah May versus Tony Storm. A great, great story. Great finale to the story at the time. I think they're going to revisit it at some point, but at the time, love the story, love the finale to it at this point. Really freaking good match. Then Darby Allin versus Konosuke Takeshita at the bottom of the A tier for me. B tier, very good match. Divisive to some people, but a very good match between Adam Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland at All Out. Very good match. Um, then this one I just didn't like as much as everybody else. The Bryan Danielson John Moxley. I have it second on my B tier. It's still a very good match. And then you got MJF versus Will Ospreay, third on my B tier. Very good match, better than their Iron Man match for me. Then you got Hangman Page versus Jay White at Wrestle Dream, bottom of my B tier. Very good match. Still a good match on my C tier. The only on my C tier is Will Ospreay versus MJF at Dynamite 250. Um, Still a good match. It just I think you could have shaved 20 minutes off of it and it would have been a better match to me. I thank everyone that has listened to me go through this tier list of my favorite matches, some of my favorite matches, because some of them I couldn't put on here at the time, but I will try to update it. But one match I would put in here is the Osprey Darby match from Dynamite this last week from the C2 at Holiday Bash. It would be on my S tier. It would probably be at the bottom of it, but it is a great TV match. Loved it. Loved the passion. Loved the intensity of it. But thank you guys for tuning into this tier list. There will be some more tier lists coming soon. Put that, smash that like button, comment, comment what you would like me to do next. Anything wrestling related, anything wrestling related. I'd love to hear it down below. Thank you, everybody. Peace. Love you all. I'm out.